This is On Purpose from the Storied Portrait. It's about people building a life around what matters to them. Not for the money, not for the attention, but because it means something. It's the work they chose, the challenges they faced, and the life they're building. This is the story of a personal trainer.
So a little bit about myself. My name is Bryce Luquette. I grew up in a small town of Gramercy, Louisiana, which is about halfway between New Orleans and Baton Rouge. I graduated in 2016 with a bachelor's degree in allied health science. And the day after I got certified, the Wellness Center in Thibodeau called me up. And I'm getting a job over there as a fitness specialist and personal trainer. And I've been there for almost 8 years now. So it wasn't something that I always wanted to do. But I think I chose the right path. I remember for Christmas that year, my parents got me one of those plastic weight sets from Academy. And I think I wanted like an Xbox at the time. And I was like, oh man, kind of disappointed. But then my brother was big in the weightlifting at the time. He would go work out every day. He'd always try to get me to work out with him. And it just wasn't my thing at the time. I played some sports. I played football and whatnot. But then, so my parents had got me that weight set, and then like a few days later, I was like sitting on the couch playing the game, and then my brother was like, hey, let's go pump some iron, with your new weight set. So I was like, all right. So I did it. I remember the next day going to school, and I felt good. It kind of, I could feel my sleeves like tightening up and all. And then after that, like I started working out, a few days a week. I kind of, got my foot in the door. I'm a big believer in having empathy, putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, and having a career in fitness, being a fitness professional, personal trainer. You gotta have a passion for it. And I like to put myself in other people's shoes. So I think about whenever I was younger, having somebody there to guide me whenever I first got into fitness, whenever I first got into working out, having my brother who kind of helped me get into everything, it meant a lot to me. And then, I like to help other people. Whenever somebody comes to me with like their goals and whatnot, I just put myself in their shoes and I just try to think everything out, come up with a game plan for them. And it makes you feel good. At the end of the day, it's a journey. And I tell people it's a journey, and I want to be there with you on this journey to make sure you reach that end destination. Success, I think a big part of success as a personal trainer is retention, client retention. It's one thing to be able to pick up clients, but it's another thing whenever you can pick up clients and they stick around, they keep coming back. Months and years pass, and you see their progress over time. And then instead of looking at a year or two from now, let's go month by month. Let's set these short-term goals. Let's accomplish these goals. And then we'll continue to set goals from there. Focus on the non-scale victories. In 2022, I started meal prepping, getting big into meal prepping. That's something I do almost weekly, I like to have that variety, and I find whenever you have the meals prepped for you ahead of time, you're a lot less likely to stop and go to Cane's or, pick up fast food. Gardening, I've been big into gardening for about a year or so. I did my spring garden, I did a winter garden, and I got some box gardens set up, and I plan on, expanding that, building off of that, and it's been enjoyable. I would say it's therapeutic, going out there every morning, watering the garden, seeing the growth and whatnot. It makes you feel good, just like when you see your clients progressing, it makes you feel good. Same thing with the garden. You see the garden growing, your work, your efforts are paying dividends. And that means a lot. Another thing I started was my podcast, Slice by Bryce, the podcast. I started that almost a year ago, actually.
What's the formula for success? For me, it's always been relationships.
If there's one thing that I'd have to leave, like we just kind of said, always remember your why.
And I remember looking in my eyes and I could see a man that was losing his weight, a man that was broken. I've got to meet a lot of different great people from different walks of life, and they've given me a lot of great ideas, and it's good just networking, just meeting different people, and seeing different walks of life, and how everything relates to health. It took me maybe 3 months to get my first client, and I almost redirected myself. But I gave it time. I gave it time. Try to stay positive, and then got my first client, and then it just like wildfire. I started getting clients left and right. And then that's when I knew I was like, all right, I made the right decision. Sticking to it. So sometimes you just gotta have patience with anything in life. So to me, living on purpose means doing what you were meant to do, what God put you out to do. Everybody has a purpose at the end of the day. Some people, it takes them longer to find a purpose than others. And to me, living on purpose means waking up every day with integrity. It's not just leading yourself, it's leading other people by example, and doing what's right even when nobody's watching you. That's living on purpose.